if the Democrats happen to take both seats in Georgia for the Senate races, then we are looking at a scenario where perhaps the Biden administration can enact some more of their potentially $4 trillion in tax hikes. But on the other hand, they'll also have $7 trillion potentially of fiscal spending that they're looking at. In our view, the tax hikes won't be a year one priority, but the fiscal spending plans will be. And so net net, we could see a better market outcome, a market that's more hopeful for fiscal spending, more stimulus, at least in the year one of a Biden administration. So we think generally the market will be able to climb this wall of worry to look through the Georgia Senate races once we have clarity on which way it goes. So we're keeping an eye on that as well. Longer term, though, we're also keeping an eye, of course, on what's happening with COVID and the vaccines here in the U.S. Generally looking for hopefully a stronger second half of the year. We think the economy, earnings all set to recover in the second half of the year against a backdrop of low rates and added stimulus to the system.
Okay, so recovery is a big theme going into 2021. Mona, I've got to ask you, the big story yesterday, of course, was this U-turn made by the NYSE on the delisting of Chinese telcos. Were you as confused as a lot of us were about the sudden U-turn?
Yeah, it's an interesting story, and the reasoning is not really quite clear as to why the NYC made that decision. And now they're looking to perhaps resume that decision again. But I do think generally we'll see this tension between the U.S. and China, not only through the Trump administration, but through the Biden administration as well. Clearly, China is on the radar. President Trump has made that clear, but even a potential President Biden has made it clear that he will be tough on China, and he wants the U.S. to remain competitive in terms of technology, particularly in comparison to Chinese technology. And so what we're seeing today, not only with the NYSE, but with some of the payment companies now that are being in focus, all kind of this broader play, or all part of a broader play perhaps, to remain as innovative, as competitive on the technology front as the Chinese have been. And so I think certainly the Biden administration will now use both of these as leverage points in their negotiations and their discussions. I think for Biden administration, it's not only about trade, but it's also about labor, it's about environment. And so he'll have hopefully a group of allies coming to the table to negotiate with the Chinese, and probably in a little bit more all-inclusive manner, not as unilateral, figure out what to do going forward to make sure the U.S. remains competitive and the trade remains fair.